प्रणाम व्यूवर्स। आप आपका गोलगप्पे चैनल पे स्वागत है। आज मेरे साथ हैं श्री नारायण अच्युत जी, आईआईटी कानपुर एंड तमाम जगह से पढ़े हैं। भारत के बहुत ही प्रख्यात सिविल इंजीनियर हैं और इनकी जो वेदांतिक स्टडी में जो इन्होंने नॉलेज एक्वायर किया है और अभी वो आगे बढ़ रहे हैं, वो मार्वलस है। आप जब सुनेंगे तो आप खुद उस पे यू नो योरसेल्फ। आज का जो मैंने टॉपिक रखा है, इज कर्मा हिटिंग बैक एट द वेस्टर्न नेशन। क्या पश्चिमी देशों को कर्मों का फल मिल रहा है? और ये जो कॉन्टेक्स्ट है इस टाइटल का, द कॉन्टेक्स्ट विच आई एम ब्रिंगिंग हियर विल कवर टू थिंग्स. वन इज wokeism and another is intellectual property right. And you will be questioning what is IPR, how it is related. Well, back to Vedas and then intellectual property right कैसे relate करते हैं, नारायण जी से हम लोग सुनेंगे. But before that, viewers, I want to first show you the main thumbnail for this presentation, which will set up the mood. Is karma hitting back? Or then I will go and show you video. Basically you have to hear that. It's a 3 minutes kind of video. This happened in USA. तो आप सुनिए, बहुत सुंदर प्रश्न पूछा गया है जो वोकिज्म से रिलेटेड है. उस वीडियो के बाद मैं नारायण जी को आपके सामने लाता हूं.
Do you think that men can get pregnant?
I hesitated there because I wasn't sure where the conversation was going or what the goal was. I mean, I do take care of patients with different identities. I take care of many women. I take care of people with different identities. And so that's where I paused. I think, yeah, I wasn't sure where you were going with that.
Well, the goal is just the truth. So can men get pregnant?
Again, the reason I paused there is I'm not really sure what the goal of the question is.
The goal is just to establish a biological reality. You just said a moment ago that science and evidence should control, not politics. Absolutely. So let's just test that proposition. Can men get pregnant?
I take care of people with many identities, but
can men get pregnant?
Many women that can get pregnant. I do take care of people that don't identify as women.
Can men get pregnant?
Again, as I'm saying,
let me just remind you what you testified to a moment ago. Science and evidence should control, not politics. Absolutely. So can men get pregnant? You're a doctor, I think.
Science and evidence should guide medicine.
Do science and evidence tell us that men can get pregnant? Biological men, can they get pregnant?
I also think yes, no questions like this are a political tool. And
no, yes, no questions are about the truth, doctor. Let's not make a mockery of this proceeding. This is about science and evidence, and I'm asking you. You know, the United States Supreme Court just heard arguments yesterday at great length on this question. This is not a hypothetical question. This is not theoretical. It affects real people in their real lives. And you're here as an expert, called by the other side as an expert. And you've been telling us that you follow, right, you're a doctor, and you follow the science and the evidence. So I just want to know, based on the science, can men get pregnant? That's a yes or no question. It really is, I think.
I think you're trying to reduce the complexity of a lot.
I'm not. I'm trying to get, it's not complex. I'm trying to get to an answer, and I'm trying to test, frankly, your veracity as a medical professional and as a scientist. Can men get pregnant?
I think you're also conflating
male and
female with...
No, I'm not conflating male and female. They're two different things. There's biological men and there's biological women. And I want to know, can men get pregnant?
What you were talking about is biological.
You're not going to answer my question.
Biological males.
This isn't hard, doctor. Can men get pregnant? Yes or no?
Again, I would be more than happy to have a conversation with you that is not coming from a place of trying to be polarized and push.
I'm not trying to be polarizing. I'm trying to ask, I think it is extraordinary that we are here in a hearing about science and about women. And for the record, it's women who get pregnant, not men. We are here about the safety of women and science that shows that this abortion drug causes adverse health events in 11% of cases. That's 22.
So व्यूअर्स, आपने सुना, ये अमेरिका के एक इलेक्टेड पॉलिटिशियन है, और वहाँ पर जो होता है कि किसी भी चीज़ पे टेस्टिमनी होता है, तो आप ओथ लेते हैं, और देन नो उस कंसर्न के डॉक्टर्स या जिसको भी बुलाना होता है, वो कांग्रेस के सामने आते हैं, और वो ऑन और ओथ पे वो जो क्वेश्चन का जवाब देते हैं, इसका रिपरकशन होता है। अगर एक भी चीज़ गलत आप बोले तो स्ट्रेट अवे जेल होता है। And here is an Indian American origin Dr. Verma from Ivy University. बहुत अच्छे जगह से वो पढ़ी हैं, लेकिन देखिए ये जो लेफ्ट और वोकिज्म का जो उनके दिमाग में जो जहर घुस गया है, बीइंग अ डॉक्टर, इज कर्मा हिटिंग बैक एट द वेस्टर्न नेशन, एंड यही हमारा टॉपिक है। और नारायण, आपका स्वागत है, थैंक्स फॉर पेशेंटली वेटिंग, प्लीज टेक द फ्लोर, इट्स ऑल योर्स नाउ।
Thank you, मेरे दोस्त शरद. In fact, Sharath is my classmate and my close friend. So it's a nice place to be chatting with you on this very intricate subject which is going on. But it is not that intricate. It is so simple also. It's crazy. I can say it's just crazy. To start with, there are two things which is going to kill the Western nation. That, or we can say the karma is hitting back. It's very simple. Two things. One is the lack of knowledge of Vedanta. Not everyone, I'm not saying everyone. There are too many people who are well versed in Vedanta. But the society as a whole has been denigrated by these leftists and Islamists together. The thing is that I am not against any individual as such. In fact, Vedanta unites every individual. Why an individual? In fact, the charachara, all thing, everything, you give respect to Panchabhuta. Is it a living thing that you think? No, it is not a living thing as such, is an individual thing. So, when you do not have a form and a rupa, nama and rupa. So it's just like that. We adore everything. So everything comes together. It is one. That is the which they have lost, and that is where we are having. We are all disunited. The chaos in the world, the chaos everywhere. Forget about the Western nation, indeed, but you can see that everywhere people are too self-centered. You know, as we start with, we call it as paropakarayam idam shariram. Our whole philosophy is based on this, nothing else. In fact, that is where, just by saying this, it is not possible to remove the wills of the world. You have to explain it so hard, and that is what Krishna did wonderfully in Bhagavad Gita. Srimad Bhagavad Gita. It is not a war story which is talking about. It is an internal war which happens every day, every moment within us. So we are all in this domain, and we have to accept it actually. Now coming to the topic, karma hits back. Is it going to be hitting the Western nation? Yes, yes. See, karma doesn't leave even God. You can see in Puranas, Krishna, such a Purna Avatara, was killed by an arrow. Can you imagine? Because of his Purva Janma, that is samskara, whatever it had to follow. Whatever it is called as. So let us start with these three things. There are three types of karma, which is very much we have to understand what is that. Prarabdha karma, then we have agami karma and sanchita karma. So to explain it very simple, as my Guruji has taught me, is that sanchita karma is SP account. You bring out a small portion in your FD account in the prarabdha. And what you do next in your life is agami karma. So, what is important is that in your life, God has given you an opportunity which no other what do you say life form has. That is the reason you say that getting a life of a human being is the most sacred. Why? Why do you call it that human life itself is sacred? Because he has given one thing which is called as buddhi shakti. In fact, I would say 90% is prarabdha. Prarabdha, I will come to the explanation of prarabdha. And why he has given that agami 10%, just 10%, or you can say less. I mean, don't go into the semantics of percentage, but that's what I mean to say. A bulk of thing is your prarabdha as you are born, and then you have what is called as the agami karma, which you have. That is what Krishna says. Do your duty well. That's how you become, you erase the sanchita karma. You know that SB account is there. If you keep on adding your papa and punya to this, then again it will go and accrue in the SB account there, which is sanchita karma. You might have heard of Lingashtaka. It is called as Sanchita Papa Vinashana Lingam Tat Pranamami Sadashiva Lingam. What is the meaning of it? In Vedanta, every word is loaded with so much of knowledge you cannot even imagine. You cannot even imagine. You know, just this sentence can be discussed for hours together. So this is the depth of Vedanta. See, that's where we have lost the importance of Vedanta. It is a practical knowledge. It's a practical knowledge. Even usually we have a tendency that Vedanta is something which is beyond our understanding. All this nonsense, which are all things which were put in our head, and this one, it is so simple. Everyday practical life is Vedanta. In fact, I can tell you the conversation that we had between the senator and the wokeism infected Dr. Verma is that is simple. She has completely been brainwashed by these leftist libergandos. I call this as libergandos. Please don't mind what I say, but they are really stupid people. I mean, neither they are safe, nor they live. Even if they don't live, neither let others live. Is this the way to live? I mean, the life that you have, that God has bestowed on us. I mean, see, I can tell you with so much of learning that I have got through my gurus. See, the basic difference between the Abrahamic and the Sanatana Dharma is two major things, you know. One is they believe in one life syndrome, whereas ours is sustainable. We don't see, that is the reason मैं जो अर्न करता हूँ, let us be practical. Do I spend everything? Why do I save things? You know, the saving concept that we have. I'm talking very practical things in life which Vedanta has embedded, is embedded with, loaded with, I would say. Is that you save for the posterity. It is not. You are just a trustee that you are here. What will you take? You take only that samskara. After life, whatever the Puranas and other things are there, let us keep it aside for a moment. Let us keep the Shruti, which is the basic source, and then all the other things come later. That is all given, the Shruti and all the Itihasa and all these things are written only to enlighten us or make us understand in simple terms. That is the reason we have a thalotra of granthas. We do not have one grantha. That is the second point which I wanted to say. In fact, I can add one more. There is commandments in what is the in the Abrahamic religions, whereas we have upadesha, explanation. I will give two shlokas, one from Vedanta, one in Bhagavad Gita. See, we have 18 adhyayas in Bhagavad Gita. In the 18.63, mark this the shloka. Itite gnanamakyatam guhyat guhyataram maya vimrishayat tadasheshena yatechhapi tatakuru. Can you imagine the Lord of Lords, the saviors of saviors, Krishna Paramatma, the Sampurna Avatar, saying this to Arjuna after having given the core and the Guhya knowledge of Atmagnana to Arjuna? At the end, fag end of the Bhagavad Gita, he says to Arjuna, he just says that do as you want. I will explain the words. Itite gnanama khyatam guhyat guhyataram maya. I have bestowed you on this the most secrets of knowledge to you. But what he says? Vimrishaya tadasheshena yathechyapi tatakuru. What a marvelous thing that we have as a Sanatana Dharma. Vimrishaya, analyze. Don't take my word as gospel. Analyze. Tadasheshena, the one which you get, when you see that there is a truth in it, accept it and what do you say? Indoctrinate to yourself or ingrain yourself with that. So it is a full explanation that you have that philosophy of what do you say, that granthas that we have, because people, every individual is different. Every individual is different. You cannot say that I dictate terms to you. No, he understands in a different way, but the same tattva. But that's the reason we have that grand, what do you say, that wealth of the literature that we have, because the Gnana can strike to anyone with any other material which he seems fit, with some name, form and rupa and nama rupa, we say. Saguna rupa, which is called as nama rupa, Krishna, whoever you want, Ishta Devata, whatever you want, you can choose. There is absolutely no problem. But when you choose that, you now start getting those qualities in you, imbibe those qualities. You become that. That is what is the crux of. So, what I wanted to say is the three things which Abrahamic religion, to summarize, Abrahamic religion and Sanatana Dharma, core differences, as I said, is that first, it is all commandments in Abrahamic religion, whereas here it is an explanation. Second thing is that it is basically the things that, what did I say? This another two, if you can understand, we can just go through this. So this is what these three differences which we are looking after. And that is where we have been, what do you say, we have been covered with that. In fact, I can say Maya. Maya has two Shakti. It is nothing related to gender. Maya is usually connected to a Strilinga and other things. No. In fact, I will like to add that sloka, the first sloka which I wanted you to in this slide. If you can just share it, I will just explain it. No, that the one in the slide, the first sloka. Yes. See, this is what is Guru. यस्यान्तानादिमध्यं न हि करचरणं नाम गोत्रं न सूत्रं न जातिर्नैव वर्णं न भवति पुरुषो न नपुंसं न च स्त्री न करणं न विकरणं न हि जनिमरणं मरणनं नास्ति पुण्यं न पापं नो तत्त्वं तत्त्वमेकं सहज समरसं सत्कुरं तं नमामि. See, what is the definition of this? There are about 18 Guru Stotras. You understand what we are talking about. We talk that a Sadguru is one who is the most greatest thing where even gods fall at his feet. Krishna had a guru. Can you imagine? In any other thing, can you imagine you can have a Sampurna avatara of Krishna is also having a guru. He prostrate between him. He gave 64 type of vidyas to him. What is he? He has no beginning, no middle, no end, no hands, no feet, no name, no lineage, no class, no caste, no color, who is neither male or female, who has no form, no chain, no birth, no virtue, no vice. No vice means all this vikaragal, shed vikaragal, which they don't have. Nothing it has. It's a tattva. No elements of creations. Who is the truth? Only the truth. You can take this back. So it is just summarizes this, and I just want to add one more shloka which each and every Sanatani knows it. Guru Brahma, Guru Vishnu, Guru Devo Maheshwara, Guru Sakshat Param Brahma, Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. See, you are equating everything to Parabrahma. Guru Brahma, he is Brahma, he is Vishnu, he is Shiva, everyone, and he is connected to Brahma. Can you imagine any philosophy which says these things? So this disconnect is what that poor lady, that doctor, so-called doctor. Do you think we had any degrees earlier in our Gurukula? Did we have anything? Nothing of that sort. It is the gnana which is more important. I will give you one more drishtanta. We are so arrogant. We have become so arrogant that I have done this, I have done this, I have invented this, I have done this. So many discoveries and other things. I will just ask a simple question. Just ponder over it. Okay, you have created a molecule of water. What have you taken from? Again, you have taken hydrogen. Have you created it? No. You have taken it from the Panchabhuta. And then you have added, two molecules of hydrogen and whatever it is, H2O. What is this nonsense that we are talking about? We have made our lives a laukika life simple. That's it. And this kind of arrogance that we have invented that, this, that, this. I mean, if at all the creator is there, he will be laughing at us, isn't it? He'll be laughing at us. Just because I have given you a brain, and in that agami karma, you are doing such stupid things. In fact, the human life is so valuable that from here you can achieve the oneness with God. In fact, devatas also come back and take form as human beings to achieve that final destination of mukshatvam. That is the real purpose of life. That is the real purpose of life. And we have completely forgotten all these things. I am an IIT graduate. I am this one. What is nonsense that we are doing? We have just done things for our udara. Udara means for our Laukika Jivana, it is very important. And one more aspect I want to bring it here, wherein people think that Vedanta is what, it is not a practical thing. I think we should discard this, all these are nonsense and other things. But let me tell you how practical it is. It says that, again coming back to Bhagavad Gita, does he not say that karma? Again, the shloka, karmanyevadikaraste, which everyone knows but knows nothing about it. Karmanyevadikaraste ma paleshu katachana ma karma palahetu bhurmaspe sangosti karmani. What does he say? He says the same thing. You cannot escape karma in your life. But what is that karma that you have to do? Nishkama karma. Then now you will, then next question will be, what nonsense are you talking about? How can you do a nishkama karma? I am doing a podcast to see that I get great, I become great. This is what I do every day. Let us be practical. This is what is practical life, but that is not the thing. It is actually, in fact, I just forgot that Idite Gnanama Kyatam. Then in the Taittiriya Upanishad, I just added these things because I have to fill up this. Two things which I told about. One I had told is Idite Gnanama Kyatam. Now in Taittiriya Upanishad, it says that at the end of the shlokas of the Shikshavali chapter, at the last, it says Iti Adeshaha. Then comes Iti Upadeshaha. Reverse order. Please remember the difference, primary difference between the Sanatana Dharma and the other faiths. Here, he gives again all these things, instructions to the Sikshavali. In Sikshavali, it is made up of three things: Bhruguvalli and Brahmanandavalli. The Taittiriya Upanishad is made up of three things, three chapters. So, in that Shikshavali, if really a person, if he can absorb the knowledge of Upanishad in that first chapter, my goodness, he can be he can get deliver a lecture to the pass out students of IB Institute, and they will be eagerly listening to this. See, these are not language; these are all not subjects which are taught in our school. The school, our Gurukula was taught these things. That is the reason a person who, after entering the Gurukula at 8, and then at around 21 or whatever it is there, whatever age, he becomes a Gnani. And he lives a life of so simple things. Life is so simple, and yet we make so much of complications. Every day we are attracted to wealth. That it is not that it is bad. It is not bad. I do require. I do require money. I do require fame, name. I am doing my consultancy, so I do require my fame to be there to do my consultancy also. But don't think that is end of life. That is where we miss the bus. And that is where the Advaita philosophy comes in. Because there are so many misconceptions which I cannot, I mean, you can count on this. Yeah, please.
So before you go to Advaita, viewers, will take to 1 minute pause here. I have to make some announcement here. So please do subscribe to Golgappe channel. We are there on Instagram and also on the YouTube and Facebook. So search by the name Golgappe. Goal means round and gappe means discussion. So it's a round is earth. So we are discussing the entire worldly affairs, global affairs. Everything is in that Golgappe. It's not only the thing which you eat. So it's in that context. Now, uh, to Narayana sir, is karma hitting back at the Western nation? You had mentioned about the fourth dimension in modern physics, like talk on the spiritual physical structure. You mentioned about the knee science, Vedantic wisdom, God particle, Higgs boson, and then you talk about Atma Jnana as encrypted in Vedas, And then you mentioned about back to Vedas, as Swami Dayanand Saraswati ji had given to us, which was later on taken by Vivekanand and others. Mark for Satya Yuga. So after Kali Yuga, which is right now, we are going back to Satya Yuga because of the cyclic nature, right? We are not going to Dwapar and Treta, and then we are straight away going from worst to the best. So that transition will be time taking and also lot to grasp. Now everybody, as you rightly mentioned, cannot grasp Vedas, but they can definitely start with the other philosophy, right? Which is, we have Advait, we have Visist Advait, we have
Dvaita,
so
Dvaita,
many.
Vishishtadvaita.
Yes, we have so many of them. And in fact, I had mentioned in my, so just give me 1 second. Okay. All those philosophies,
In
and then
fact, why I'm telling you, Nastika is also one of the philosophies. We have Nastika. Nastika is not Nastika and Astika. I'll just clarify a moment. Sorry to take your time.
hmm,
Nastika and Astika is only those who believe in Vedas, those who do not believe in Vedas. But we give importance to both. In fact, Nastika is, you have both the Dharma, Jainism, everything you have there, but we still respect it. We,
true.
in fact, okay, I will just continue later, please. You can
Yes,
ask.
let me finish my initial thought. So when we go through the Sanatan philosophies, we start with Dvaita, we graduate to Advaita, and then we have Jagat, Jiva, Ishwar, Samsara, all kinds of concept, Maya. Now, even in Abrahamic faith, there is definitely one concept of soul. So when you die, your body, based on the karma, the judgment day, you either go to Jahannam, which is their hell, or you go to heaven is called Jannat and Jahannam, they have also that similar concept. But we in Sanatana, we have a rebirth concept where and I was just one more minute and then I'll give it back to you. So I was recording a video last week, I mean a couple of days back, on the death science, right? The mrityu. And one of the thing during that research I found out was in Manikarnika Ghat in Varanasi, when when the body is burned, and then next when the ash cools, the guy who has burned the Mukhagni, who has done Mukhagni, they write on the ash number 94. And it is very interesting. Then I was searching what is this 94, and it said that there are 100 shubh karma or ganana dharm, naitik dharm, which you do, like satya bolna, ahimsa ka palan, chori na karna, all those, like there are 94 of them, to feed poor, all those things, right? 94 of them, and then the remaining six, which is hani, labha, Jivan, Maran, Yash, Apyash. So 94 goes with you as a body form. That's why we call it, you have Dehant ho gaya, yani he is dead. But Atmahant, which is your Atma, which is soul, which takes this six karmas along with it, it doesn't die. So itna beautiful concepts hai, multiple concept. I won't say ki, so back to you. So viewers, back to Vedas, Vedanta, and all this philosophy is not trying to complicate you. It's basically trying you to understand your existence, whether you कल्पना करके आप आउटसाइड वर्ल्ड एंड कॉस्मोलॉजी में जाइए, या विद इन योर बॉडी, if you consider your body as a cosmology, and all your जो भी चेतना है, तो it's up to you how you take it. And back to Narayana. Narayana, please take it forward. Yeah, thank
In
you.
fact, I would start with Nasadiya Sutta, which is the origin where the Rig Veda, it says how the Srishti has been created. So it starts with the unmanifest to manifest. In fact, this is all Brahme or Maya. Maya has two Shaktis. One is Avarana Shakti and Vikshepa Shakti. What is Avarana? Avarana is covering a veil of ignorance and covering the truth. Vikshepa Shakti making the unreal as real. This is a very high concept, but it is true. You will have to go there at the end of your life. You will have to go there only. No one has. I mean, if at all they have to have the salvation, so-called salvation in English, that's not the thing. Mumukshatvam. If you want to really get into that, you will have to get into these concepts at all. Okay. Now, why this chaos in this life? As I said earlier, there is a life chakra, as Sharath also just told here. We have the concept of a cyclic concept, which is just so important for sustainability. This Srishti has been created by his Icha. There is no reason. In fact, he can go to back to unmanifest stage. I will give a very small example. Without Drishtanta, Vedanta cannot be understood. Have anyone seen a banyan seed? A banyan seed is so tiny, which, if embedded in the earth, it has such an information of such a gigantic tree. Can you imagine that? When the appropriate time comes, when in physics and chemistry you call it as the time, the pressure and the temperature comes at the, when it is at the right, what do you say, the right temperature and the right pressure, the one which is totally unmanifest, you can never even identify the seed of the banyan tree, grows to such a Vatavruksha.
So
Can you imagine?
is it the Chetana? Like it's stored?
Yes, that is where the thing is that before and after, the only thing that is left, that is always there and will continue, Purna, what is that, our Shanti Mantra, the last one, Purna, I'll just a
You
second.
can take it. Yeah.
Just for giving a reference, how
Yeah.
much of value then the things that we have in our this one in the Dashashanti mantra, we have the last sloka, which is Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudamuchyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. See, this is Purna. From whole, a part has come. From the part, it comes to the whole. It is undivisible. This is what is the concept that we are talking about. Can you imagine the word science is going towards that? That is the reason, as he just mentioned earlier, whatever we are thinking as science is knee science. You can Google it and then you can understand what is it.
Knee science.
Yeah, it is anti-science. Even it is not science. It is not paripurna. What is science is this. In fact, I will tell you, I again go to the marvelous guide that Shankaracharya has given us. My goodness, he has 47 Prakarana Grantha. That tender age of 16 had
Yeah.
47 Prakarana Grantha. And Gaudapada was eagerly waiting for Shankaracharya to come and then do the highest philosophy that anything in this world, there is nothing else other than that is Prasthanatraya. Shruti Bhashya, Upanishads are given Bhashyas. All the 10 major Upanishads are given Bhashyas.
Yeah.
Second, Smriti Bhashya, your Bhagavad Gita, the Bhashya on Bhagavad Gita, how it is Vedanta. See, at end of every adhyaya, you say Sri Krishna let us say Sankhya Yoga. Srimad Bhagavad Gita Su Upanishadsu Brahma Vidyayam Yoga Shastre Sri Krishna Arjuna Samvade Sankhya Yogo Nama Dvitiyodhyayah Upanishadsu. Underline that word. It is a Sara of Upanishad. He has given you in such simple languages how to live, how to do. In fact, first 6 khandas is basically Karma Yoga, how to live. Second karma is Upasana. You do the, you get purity of mind, you clear all your doubts. Upasana. Then finally, the last 6 chapters is Dhanakanda. He's incredibly done the same Vedanta in these 3 khandas. In fact, entire Vedanta, do whatever you want, study whatever you want, is based with only 6 chapters. Only 6 chapters. Only 6 chapters. Can you imagine? Whatever is there, whatever the type of the whole, the entire literature is based on just six chapters. What is that? One is sadhana. Second is jiva. Third is jagattu. Fourth is most important aikya. Next, bandhana and moksha. You read Samhita, you read Brahmana, you read Aranyaka, you read Upanishad. All these contain the same thing. Absolutely only covers these 6 chapters. In fact, that is what is the greatness of this one. We Aikya. Well, let me just bring a difference between many people will have confusion regarding viewers will have confusion. What is this Dvaita, Advaita, Vishishta Dvaita? What is this? I mean, first of all, the Vedanta itself is so cryptic, and then you have these 3 philosophy. What is this? See, in Dvaita, you can imagine as 2 balls, 2 circles. Okay, I will tell you 2 circles. Jiva and Paramatma are different. That is why you do the Saguna puja that we always do. That is, you put a murti of Ganesha or whatever Ishta Devata that you have, Rama, Krishna, or whatever it is there. And then you do the puja. This is Saguna puja. You consecrate the idol or whatever it is there, a photo or whatever is there in your puja room, and then you do the puja. So you are a different person. Jiva and Atma are different. That's how you arrive at. That's how you start at least. Then you know that what Krishna stood for, what Rama stood for, and then you start thinking about it. When you start thinking about it, then there are 3 gunas. See, there are 5. I will come to why if the 4th dimension. There is a very, very beautiful concepts that Vedanta has. There are 3. In everything, they are explained in 3. Triguna, Satvika, Rajasika, Tamasika. Avastha Traya. Waking, I am awake now. Sleep and deep sleep. Okay. Then we have what is called as Traya Sharira. What is that Traya Sharira? Gross body, subtle body, and Sukshma body. That is Karana Sharira, we call it as. The
Right.
Sukshma. So why I am getting into these concepts is it is beyond that. Avastatrayatitah, Kalatrayatitah, That is what I just gave a definition of Yasyanta Nama, that is the Guru Shloka Stotram, which I just elaborated on that. That is what it is beyond all these things. It's a fourth dimension, time space dimension, as it is called in modern physics. So yeah, the things are going there. Can you imagine? Parvati Parameshwara, take just one Parvati Parameshwara. The entire thing is explained there. Ishvara is not Ishvara, that is Shiva or Vishnu or nothing of that sort. It is Brahman, the concept which is told us. So the Brahman with Maya, both are Maya. The Brahman doesn't create. With the help of Maya, Maya creates. He is a witness. And then finally, Maya merges with Brahman. That is where where you get unmanifest. When you are in Maya, I am seeing Sharath, I am seeing the books shelf behind him and all those things. I am seeing my photo behind a curtain behind me, all these things. So manifest, everything is there. Only thing is that Chaitanya Shakti has come into it, and then you are seeing those life forms or non-life forms. It doesn't matter. So this is where we have lost. I mean, coming back to the topic that was, then people will get lost in what we are talking, and does it have any meaning in what the topic that Sharath had chosen today for discussion? Absolutely, absolutely, there is a direct connection. In fact, 120 years or 20 or whatever odd years, Vivekananda, yelled at us, Bhai, throughout the world, please follow back to Vedas, get back to Vedas. Please. It is not for me. I have a tagline always, I always repeat this everywhere. Vedanta doesn't require you. Let it be very clear. Vedanta doesn't require you. We desperately require Vedanta for having a blissful life. See, can you just imagine, if you have these kind of knowledge in you, whatever I have said nothing. What do you say? Trying to think, getting things into, getting those things which you cannot understand. Practical life. If you have a simple thing that you have asset, you have the desire. But what is that? If desire becomes you, then what will happen? That is what has happened there in the Western world, or whatever. Here also we see many people who are still engrossed in chaos in their life, which isn't there. You, you yourself is divine, but totally unaware of that.
So
That is the philosophy that we are talking about.
I wanted to quickly add here, viewers, in Bhagavad Gita, chapter 11, Shloka 4, BG 7.4, there is a mention, I'll just read the interpretation, where it said that my eight separated Prakriti, nature, are earth, water, fire, air, sky, mind, intelligence, and false ego. Para Prakriti, Para Brahman. So Para Prakriti is supreme, that is Swatantya Shakti, by and in which the whole universe is existing. Yes, please go ahead.
In fact, the same thing is in the Upanishad, as told,
Right.
we are made up of 24 elements. Now, anyone on this earth can dispute this. You can bring the what is called as Purva Paksha or discussion with that. Only 24 elements. The human being is made up of 24 elements. What are the Panchabhuta, Pancha Karmendriya, this
Yeah.
hand, leg, and all this thing. Pancha Gnanendriya, the knowledge which enters through eyes, ears, nose,
15.
skin, and other things.
Hmm.
Then you have Pancha Prana, Prana, Apana, Vyana, Samana, Udana.
Okay.
You know the functions of those Prana and Udana? What a marvelous concept. In fact, the medicine industry is fooling us, literally fooling us. Prana, which is the most vital force of our existence in with the Chaitanya Shakti, you know that causes your digestion, your assimilation, that is, or the sorry, the respiration, digestion, then the excretion, and doing all those other functions, bulping, vomiting, at the end of the life, you know, the fluid comes out. All these things, and that is how the whole thing is there, which is made up of pancha prana, and then four antaranga chatushtaya, which is called as manas, buddhi, chitta, ahankara, which he explained in 11.4. So in tattva bodha, I would just a second, I will just recommend people to purchase this book.
Hmm.
I think it is difficult. This is tattva bodha.
Okay.
This is the first Prakarana Grantha which every mumukshu would would uh, would refer to, because he has explained all these 6 chapters which I told in such a beautiful language, prose. It's not shloka; it is a prose. Tattva Bodha is the basic grantha, culminating with Prasthanatraya. As I said, it is Shruti Bhashya, explanation for various questions asked, which he himself, Shankaracharya itself, with discussions with various scholars and other things, their knowledge scholarly bank, that is what is called as Darshana Shastras, have been described thoroughly and exposed where their lacunas are there. You know, one more thing about Shankaracharya, which everyone Sanatani worth his salt should know. You know, he got us together from north to south, east to west. I mean, can you imagine the kind of diversity that we had? No internet, no social media, no nothing. And then what kind of integration he did? Can you even think of what he did? The kind of integration that he did, he assimilated people, he brought them together. Okay, if you want to worship Shiva, worship. If you want to do this, don't do. He moderated them and also taught Shatrubodh. That is the one more important which I, at this juncture, I want to put it very strongly, very, very strongly. It is both Shastrabodh and Shatrubodh. Please read the shlokas which are there. I will give you references for Shatrubodh, which is completely in the this one. Please take it down. Do your own self-analysis. As I said, don't take my word as gospel. Please do your own analysis. Shatrubodh 2.31 to 2.37. Bhagavad Gita 11.33 to 11.34. 16.19 and many more. Clearly it says that you can kill person if you are upholding dharma, and it is a nishkama karma. Just to uphold karma, if you want to kill, you have to kill. I mean, these are all things which have been completely Shatrubodh and Shastrabodh in equal dimensions.
Sawal, question.
Hmm.
So, but then we also have a concept of samsara, which is basically what it means is residing in the field of ignorance. And then we have fivefold of them, like avidya, which is ignorance, ashmita, which is ego, raga, which is attachment, uh, de-
Dvesha.
Devaseva, hatred, and Abhinisha, which is attachment to your own conception. So, how are you going to fight all those things and get the right understanding?
Yeah. Okay, I will give you another drishtanta. Without drishtanta, without example, you will never understand Vedanta.
True.
How many years do you spent to get an earn a degree?
Which degree? Our undergrad?
Graduate,
Yeah,
undergraduate.
12 plus
21 years.
12 plus 4, I would say
21 years. 21 years, I am telling you.
age. Okay, okay, that way. Huh?
Age. Huh?
Huh.
You struggled day and night just to get a degree, which is worthless. I mean, worthless means I don't take it in that sense. It is just for your stomach, filling your stomach. Udara, only Udara, Poshana, and nothing else. It doesn't do anything else other than that. Okay, that
Right.
which is important. Which is important. Please don't mistake me saying that because when I'm saying this Vedanta, then they say, "अबे ये तो जाके क्या कहते हैं हिमालय में बैठेंगे." No, no, no. You have to live in the society.
Right.
You have to live in the society. You have to do your karma, which is nishkama karma, which is karma yoga. So you cannot escape it. You cannot escape it. If you escape it, you are again getting into the same, what do you say, what we call it as the cyclic thing. You have to become mumukshatva, no birth and death. That is the concept that we are talking about. What a great concept. I mean, even as a conceptual thinking itself is unimaginable, which the science is going through right now. It is pursuing the same thing. Can you just imagine CARN, which is a cyclotron in VNR, one is wherever it is. They are looking for a God particle. What nonsense are they talking about? From where did they get that word called as God particle?
Mr. Higgins and Mr. Bose.
See, everything, let us say, I will give you one more example. You always relate to Thomas Alva Edison as one he's not Thomas,
The bulb.
the one who created the bulb.
Thomas Alva Edison.
I know 208 ways of how not to make a bulb. Do you think it is his original thing that he has given this? Even though the tattva is the same, but do you think that he is the one who has invented? No. Learn
Yep.
from Vedanta. It is called as neti neti principle.
Mm.
In
True.
fact, he has borrowed it knowingly or unknowingly, and then naam uska chep diya hai. This is how we have been fooled for centuries. Now you understand what is the essence of Veda. Everything have been taken from Veda. In
Agree.
fact, the time is running out. I would say, if you live a life just copy and pasting it in your life, you will lead a blissful life. You do not invent anything. You are just mixing those panchabhuta and then creating something, and then you are thinking you are such a great fellow. What nonsense! In fact, NIMHANS is an organization which works about brain in Bangalore. It is a pioneering institute throughout India and the world. NIMHANS, you can Google it out. What is, the 8 Nobel laureates came there, and then they were fondling Shankaracharya. Manassu, Buddhi, Chitta, Ahankara. I will explain this. Maybe you can close this talk. Manas is basically your thoughts, unwanted, unwarranted, silly. शरत अच्छा नहीं है, वो अच्छा नहीं है, ये बंदा ये ठीक नहीं है, ये सही है, वो है. That kind of moving thoughts. In a person who is mental, he becomes mental because he has thoughts which is process more than 1 lakh thoughts in his mind at the same time. That is the reason he becomes crazy. Then come to buddhi. These are all faculties of mind which they have studied. Don't think that these are all silly things which I am talking about, and Vedanta is something to be kept at that altar somewhere else, which is not to be, which cannot be understood. What is buddhi? Buddhi is taking those thoughts, and then you keep it. Buddhi, decision, intellect. You use your brain. You use your that faculty of brain. No, which science have you taught that the brain has four faculties? Please, if anyone can enlighten me, please tell me. Manasu, buddhi, chitta, ahankara. Buddhi is something intellect. You decisively see where it is exactly, whether it is right or wrong. The thoughts that are coming are okay, or shall I take it, or shall I keep it, or shall I throw it? Then comes the purity. Chitta. Chitta is where upasana comes. Upasana is basically you have the recollection. What do you want to keep in your mind? These Atma Tattva as in your mind, nothing else. Because nothing will help you later. Nothing will help you later. And then last, the most deadly, ego. I, Manasu, Buddhi, Chitta, Ahankara. Ahankara is not the, what do you say, that I have Garva and other thing. No, no, no. I, identity. I identify with myself as this Sharira. In fact, this is what I will try to show at the last. Please watch Dakshinamurti. What is this? Entire Vedanta, if you go to just see this, remember this, I will explain it further.
Okay.
If you go to Ujjain, Mahakal,
Hmm.
Dakshinamurti, with the seven, what do you say, the sages, the great sages, Saptarishi.
Saptarishi.
Saptarishis sat around him. I would later share with you the Dakshinamurti Stotra, maybe I have shared also with you. Such a beautiful thing. He says without saying any word. I will read that thing for you. What a beautiful creations that Shankaracharya has done. He has done three things, one is Shloka, one is Prakarana Grantha, and Prasthanatraya. These are the greatest three literatures that he has done. All are guides for Vedanta. As you understand, if you don't understand this, read this.
Like,
My goodness, I will just read this. This is a very good shloka which I want to, because there are many things that one has to do it, but it is beyond the limits. So I cannot go on like this. Your audience will also get bored. So I will just end with Krishnamurti, who is the giver of all this knowledge. So that is where I enter. The Dhyana Shloka, which says, ॐ मौनव्याख्या प्रकटित परब्रह्मतत्त्वं युवानां वर्षिष्ठान्ते वसदृशिगणैरावृतं ब्रह्मनिष्ठै आचार्येन्द्रं चिन्मुद्रमानन्दमूर्तिं स्वात्मारामं मुदितवदनं दक्षिणामूर्तिमीडे. I will just read the literal translation of this. He said the Vedanta, just by showing this, he has one hand like this. What are this? He mentioned about samsara. Samsara is associating with this gross body, the subtle body, and the karana body. Or the what is called as subtle body. It's a subtle body and karana sharira. Or you can say that the stula sharira, sukshma sharira, karana sharira. When we associate, this is jiva. Jiva, when we associate with this, we are in samsara, which you will have to face both good and bad and everything. We have to. There is no other way. But when you come with this truth, the Purnamidam, the circle concept which I started with and ending with, when you leave this and then live with this, you will be under perpetual bliss. As you are doing functioning your normal duties as we are doing right now, conducting a podcast.
Wow.
So as normal as this is the Dakshinamurti Stotra, Tattvamasi, and this is given in Chandogya Upanishad, 6th chapter. Such a beautiful knowledge bank that we have. We have lost it. It's a pity. And that is the reason the karma hits back. And that is the reason you have to end that karma, which is the Sanchita karma. Remember, I had told you that 3 karmas. Which one? I will again, just for recapitulation. Prarabdha karma, Agami karma, Sanchita karma. See, everywhere there is 3 concepts. Please remember, Vedanta is filled with 3 concepts. These are the 3. If you the FD account you can change. See, even Ramakrishna Paramahamsa had to die with cancer, but it was not for his, it was only for his sharira. He was in that consciousness stage. It was only for his sharira, not for his consciousness. That is the reason. Nainam chindanti shastrani, nainam dahati pavakaha, na chainam kledyantyaapo, na shoshaiti marutaha. It cannot be cut, it can be killed, it cannot be do anything. That's what Krishna says. So when these 3 concepts are there, imagine what is that. If we don't know these things, we are again in this samsara. That's what we are happening. In fact, all Trump and all the other things are just a character. The problem is, as human being, we are associating like this. The jiva is associated with the sharira. And once you are in sharira, see, you have to go through the everyday sorrow and grief and happiness, which is all kshanika. In fact, Sadhana Chatushtaya says these things only. Viveka. Viveka is basically discrimination. 4 Ds. 4 Ds. Let me just elaborate on these 4 Ds. Discrimination, dispassion, discipline, and then desire. Desire for what? Mokshatva. So this is sadhana chatushtaya. In fact, that's the reason I told you people cannot directly relate to saying that Atma Nitya, Jagat Nitya. Concept they can never understand. They will think, I mean, what nonsense are you talking? Mithya in the Laukika, it is true. You have to perform all the kriyas. But that is not the end. Again, there is 3. Every Vedanta shloka or whatever mantra is consist of 3. Adi Bhautika, Adi Daivika, Adhyatmika. See, the concept of 3, remember, Vedanta is based on 3 concept. Beyond that, I will give you a last example. I mean, I can go on and on. You have started everyone has started the learning cycle, Who has not learned cycle? Everyone has learned cycle. How did you do? First time, you were so so fearful that just to hold the handle and then balance it, that's such a incredible effort. This is where you get initiated to Vedanta. It looks so jittery, so perplexing, so encrypted, and all those things. That's where it is called as Shravana. You have to listen to this Vedanta lectures from Guru and Shastra. Both are important. Both are important. Shastra, it clearly writes that Shastra and Guru are important. Then comes Manana. What do you do in examination? You do the same thing, no? You listen to the lecture, come back home, read that, manana. Remember that. Then finally, what do you do when why a stage comes wherein you are confident of riding a cycle? You say that I know the cycle now. I know the cycle because all the doubts are clear about how to balance and other things. Then finally, what do? You see that road Romeos, they don't hold the handle at all. They just do the cycling. How did you arrive at that? It is called as nididhyasana. Knowledge is knowledge and
Okay.
ingrainment are totally a worlds apart concept. You become that. You become that. In fact, I will tell you shloka, please note it. 2.46. This is the beauty of Vedanta, and I will end with it. No further talk. 2.46. Just note that 2.46, which says that यावानर्थ उदपाने सर्वतः संप्लुतोदके तावान् सर्वेषु वेदेषु ब्राह्मणस्य विजानतः. This is a very, 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 I mean, it is a pinnacle of Bhagavad Gita, I can say. It says that Veda says, Veda says, what is the use of me when you have become yourself that Brahman?
ठीक.
You can leave me. What is the use of irrigation when you have raining of knowledge there? I'm an irrigation specialist, so I can tell you what is the use of that irrigation when through the water through the channels when there is already a flood. This is greatness of Vedanta, and the lack of it, you are seeing what is happening in this Western world, all this. So coming back to the topic where we started, of how it is related, how it is entangled, and why we are in this situation. Forget about the Western world or whatever it is there. You and me, why we are entangled in this is because of this.
ठीक
There
है.
is a you are different, I am different.
Okay.
All is one, which is IITIAN.
ठीक है.
Thank you.
Okay. ठीक है. Hold on. So, viewers, you heard about the Vedanta and such a beautiful language, beautiful knowledge, and how beautifully Narayana and IITN from Kanpur. So IITians are not always in coding and engineering and all those things. See the gyan which came from his experience, his practice. Uh, in the end, I thought of summarizing, but he has himself summarized it so well, and we are almost an hour plus now. So, with the permission from two great gurus who are not there, Abhinav Gupta and Utpal Dev, the Shivite Kashmiri point of view, Jnana, which is knowledge, is knowing one's nature, which is all being Sat, all conscious Chit, and all bliss Ananda. Anjana is ignorance, is ignoring this nature, and this is the cause of the samsara, which carries one in the cycle of repeated births and deaths. In Kashmiri Shaivism, it is said that when you go in search of a guru, and he mentioned about guru, for getting initiated, right? You need to get initiated. सज होते हैं आप. You should first seek the guru who is full of both Baudha Jnanam and full of Paurusha Jnanam. This is what Abhinav Gupta and Utpal Dev's point of view is in the Kashmiri Shaivism. And
Rightly said.
with that, I would like to end. So thank you very much. And
Thank you.
viewers, if you like this program, please do subscribe. I will try to get Narayana every week on some topic on Vedanta if you want, or maybe alternate week. I'll work with him on his timing. But it was really, really great insight to this, to the
Thank you. If
treasure.
everyone benefits from it, that is nothing like it, and we can create a world which is completely free of all these worries. Because when you know it.
Om
Thank you.
Namo Narayana Har Har Mahadev.
Har Har
Jai Shri
Mahadev.
Ram.
Har Har Mahadev. Jai Shri Ram.